Cherry MX Brown, Romer G Tactile, GX Brown Tactile, or GL Brown Tactile. A few years ago, I made a video comparing the difference between tactile, linear, and clicky mechanical key switches, and I mentioned how some companies make their own key switches, and there can be some slight variances between them. Really, the biggest name brand has been Cherry MX for several years now, and so I wanted to look at all these different keyboards, these 4 different keyboards. All of them are tactile mechanical keyboards. This Corsair K95 Platinum has Cherry MX Brown tactile key switches, and this Logitech keyboard G513 has Romer G tactile key switches. This G513 has GX Brown tactile key switches, and this G915 keyboard has GL Brown tactile key switches. So first, I'm going to start off with my daily keyboard. I've actually been using this for several years. The K95 Platinum from Corsair with Cherry MX Brown tactile key switches. And then with the stabilizers like a spacebar or the shift. It sounds a little bit light, but it still feels super precise and almost solid. Like I'm definitely pressing this key switch and it's going to register. And then when you take the keycap off, you can see the key switch is just this little plus sign design. And then moving over to Logitech, we have the G513 Carbon with Romer G tactile key switches. And then the stabilizer with the spacebar, stabilizer with a shift, just regular key. And compared to the Cherry MX Browns, honestly, they feel pretty similar. They sound kind of similar. There is still a difference, but they are pretty similar. And when you take the keycap off of the Logitech keyboard, you see that the Romer G is just a hollow square. Next up is the Logitech G513 Carbon with GX Brown tactile key switches. And with a stabilizer, just a regular key. These ones feel more solid, more precise, less wiggle also, and it doesn't feel exactly the same still. It doesn't sound exactly the same, but they still feel really nice and really precise. Then compared with the Romer G, GX Brown, Romer G, GX Brown. Remove the keycaps from this keyboard and you'll see the key switch is just a brown plus sign, similar to the Cherry MX key switches. And then quickly, let's look over the GL Brown tactile key switches. It's just a lower profile key switch. It's kind of like the laptop design or the scissor switch design. A lot shorter, a bit more mushy in a sense. And then with a stabilizer, just a regular key. And then you remove this keycap and you'll see the key switch is kind of like a rectangle with two holes in it for the keycap. Now let's compare these three full-size tactile mechanical key switches. First is the Cherry MX Brown tactile key switches. then Romer G Tactile, then GX Brown Tactile, and GL Brown Tactile. So in review, these 4 tactile key switches are similar, but just a little bit different. I kind of feel like the GX Brown Tactile feel a little bit more like the Cherry MX Brown, and then the Romer G key switches are sort of a little bit lower profile than the GX Brown, but if you really want low profile, you should go with the GL Brown keyboards. I'll leave some links to some Amazon listings in the description if you want to buy any of these keyboards. Use my links and I'll get a small cut of it, but it won't cost you anything extra. It'll just help keep my YouTube channel and my website running. Speaking of my website, you can go to hxchector.com. That's hardcorehector.com. There you can find some written tech reviews, some written strategy guides, some galleries of my collectibles, just a bunch of cool stuff. That's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it or appreciated me doing it, you can give it a thumbs up. You can also leave a comment telling me which key switch you prefer, maybe which key switch you have, or which key switch you would like to buy. Now there's optical key switches. Of course, they use some mechanical parts to actually register the button, but then the keystroke is registered by optical light. But that's an entirely different topic or whatever. So that's the end of this video. Thumbs up, subscribe, comment, check out my website, all that good stuff. See y'all later, and thanks for watching.